Hey, what up, though? It's your favorite professor. Office hours are always open, jokes are always free. Now, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and join the fastest growing classroom on YouTube. We're blowing up like the group project the night before it's due. But for real, this show does not happen without you. So, subscribe, or I might just start handing out pop quizzes. And trust me, they're all essay questions. Let's get it.
Yo, y'all ready to get into this topic? We're going to go straight into the main topic. Straight into the main topic. Y'all, how often is it that women think about the man when it's time for us to call it quits, whether in a marriage or in your average everyday relationships? What do we go through? How do we feel? And what are the signs? This is what I want to go about. Let's give the ladies the signs, something to look out for when they know that a man is willing to call it quits. All right, let's get into these videos.
My boyfriend told me I want to take a break. What? Why does a guy want to take a break from the relationship? Okay, 3 reasons. Number 1, when a guy says he wants to take a break, either he's frustrated or overwhelmed by the events in his life. It may not have anything to do with you. And so you want to be cognizant of the things that are going on with his life. He might be fed up with his financial situation, his career, with himself. The second reason is he's not happy with the relationship and he's not ready to end the relationship. But what he's trying to figure out is, let me take a break to see if this is something that I want or something that I don't want. And the third reason why is he's using the break to slowly end the relationship. A lot of times he doesn't have the courage or the guts, or maybe he just didn't want to hurt you. So it's an easy way for an easy out.
All right, I got one more video for y'all. Check this one.
Oh, may be the same product of what y'all want. How y'all get to it and how y'all set the play up to go get it, totally different. Right. And that be the problem right there. You understand me? Us men, we understand that. Maybe you see it different than me. You understand me? I understand what you're coming from. I'll work on that. Women, when you telling your woman something how you see it, I never. No, it's a lot of combative that come along with that, bro. So over the years, men tend to be like, all right, that's cool. That's cool. When he start schooling you, get ready to be replaced. Get ready to be replaced. It's cool. Okay. When he start giving you them one-liners, you on the way out the door. He just need 1 or 2 plays, and then you cut. You cut.
All right. You cut. All right, let's get into this. Fellas, I want to start with y'all today, right? The reason why I want to Hassan, salute to you, my guy. Good to have you in the building. Much love and respect. And there goes Lisa. She's on the plane. I got to.
I was not supposed to be on a plane today. I'm sorry.
I know. But like, you work too much. You got to get that bread. It happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. so check this out, y'all. All right, fellas, I want to start with y'all because we all know that there's a thing that people say about men that we don't leave relationships, but sometimes I do believe that men check out, and when we check out, we don't necessarily say we're checking out. We do actions that show that we're checking out. So I would love to go over that with you guys real quick. Then we can get the ladies' perspective on the topic. So, any fella, please feel free to jump in.
I want the other fellas to go ahead and start first because
chill now.
I don't want to steal the. Oh no! I got this in the bag. But listen, when I speak about this is a really good topic, and it's an important topic because it's not only is going to help men, but it's going to help women too. And sometimes I could be long-winded because not only am I talking about personal experiences, I'm actually teaching folks. You know what I'm saying? I ain't talking at you. I'm just trying to game you. And I can sometimes be long about it. So I want you fellas to talk about your experience first. And then after that, I'm going to carry you home, baby.
Essentially, I think that both of the guys were spot on. I definitely saw some of those things in myself and looked back on some things like, that just left. I was wrong for that. But that is very true that a lot of times men usually don't leave until they've totally hit a breaking point or until they found something new. So they may put things in play that will make it easier to kind of separate. So I kind of agree with both the guys.
So when you say put things in play, I want you to expound on that. What are things that you actually see that you may have done to put in place to end your relationship?
I've done the break thing before. That's why once he brought that up, I was like, oops. Like, I was like, is he talking to me? But yeah, I've done that. You do things like just spending less time with a woman. And, you know, I think the biggest thing is you just stop focusing on making her happy. And that's something that a woman should notice. But if she's in a selfish place where she feels like he's never been doing enough and he should always be doing more, you may not notice that. So that could be a telltale sign that dude is looking elsewhere.
Okay. I'm with that. Professor, what's your thoughts on the topic?
Yeah, I mean they're basically saying the same things I would say. For the most part, I withdraw a little bit. I may still spend time with you, but the time we spend together is not the same. Women can typically sense when I'm not feeling it. And then the phone calls and the text messages get a little distant. I know Chill's gonna hate this when I say it because he hates this. Oh shoot! He hates this part of it. But I go back on date naps because I always believe that you don't leave a job until you already found another one. So I go on the hunt looking for something else.
During the relationship?
Hell yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, you gotta have something. You gotta have something set up to be ready to go. Listen, what's the best way to get over another woman is get under another one. So we'll get on top of another one actually. But no, I'm just saying. I always make sure I have something there so that when she's done, I just keep it pushing. Even in my last relationship, I told her, I said, "Yo, we breaking up." She's like, "Yeah." I said, "Cool." I said, "You want to take a break?" She's like, "Nah." I said, "All right, well, I'm gonna be with another girl tomorrow." And she didn't believe me. Drove by my house and saw me with another chick. So it is what it is, man. You know, I just keep it pushing. But yeah, with those guys, oh man,
cold-blooded,
cold as
dog.
ice.
That's cold as ice.
Mm.
That is cold as ice.
Stuff happens, man. Stuff happens. You know, I still love everybody. I still care for everybody. It just wasn't meant to work at that time. Maybe, you know, and I don't spend a block. I tell them I don't spend a block. So once we done, we done.
We going from cold-blooded to getting chill. Oh Lord.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So look, I agree with a lot of the things that the fellow was saying, that everybody is saying, both Wall and Professor. But the thing is, you never had a man dig deep and like dissect it for you. And I can use my own personal experience to dissect it, because here's the thing: there's two types of men who checks out of the relationship. Now, there's the guy who don't have no options, and he don't have no option. He's standing at a certain level. He checked out emotionally and by way of resources and everything, but he doesn't actually leave because he knows that's the best he can do. A lot of fellas are too afraid to admit that. So that's why they'll stay with a chick that they ain't really feeling like that, man. But they know they ain't got nowhere else to go. They'll try. You know what I'm saying? What?
Kid, I think you got some background. You got some background going on there, kid. Go ahead, Chill. That was Kid.
All right.
She was running interference. She was running interference.
Yeah, she said, wait a minute, this is getting too close to home.
Oh man.
Nah. All right, and then let's switch it up. And then there's the guy who do have options. You know what I'm saying? Them the dudes who will file divorce first. And let's just be honest, there ain't too many dudes like that. Hell, you got dudes that are millionaires who got that money and they still stay in a relationship and literally give up their funds when they had the advantage and the leverage. But yet, you know what I'm saying, they didn't guard their finances. And now they don't leave that relationship because they're afraid of what's going to happen to their overall, you know what I'm saying, bottom line. You've seen them, celebrities. Look at Will Smith. Come on now. Why is he staying in that relationship? She beating him up in public.
Yikes.
Like, you ain't a man. Like, for real. On live TV.
That's real. That's real.
He just takes it.
Yo, skinny boy, what up? Yeah.
Fellas know these types, and so do women. That's why it's important that we have these conversations so our young fellas can get the game, and even some of my old fellas, you know, can't teach an old dog new tricks. I'd have been trying, but they still gonna do the same thing that they want to do, man. But I'm gonna land my plane there, man.
What's up, class? Listen, if you got a quick second, and I know you do, because half y'all at work ain't doing a damn thing but looking busy, do me a favor. Share this episode. Post it on Reddit, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Hell, MySpace if Tom's still sitting there in that white t-shirt looking like he sell bootleg DVDs out the trunk of his car. Listen, fax it, send a pigeon, tap dance to someone's front door. I don't care. Just spread the word. Every share keeps this show alive and keeps me from ending up like Big Worm and Friday, because playing with my subscriptions is like playing with my emotions. And I ain't playing with none of you. So hit share, or I'm handing out pop quizzes on Saturday.
Okay. I'm gonna just throw in my perspective real quick that I do want to hear from the ladies, but I do agree. I think one of the biggest reasons why men don't necessarily end relationships, I have to agree with Chill on this one as well, and also the other fellas. A lot of us feel as if, especially if you have a lot of stake in the game, let's say children, let's say a house, all of those things that you put together, you know that the courts don't favor us. So the mindset is, if I leave, I'm going to lose it all. But I like to encourage men to try to work it out, right? Because, if there is any type of salvaging that could be done, you should do that than trying to just jump out of it for the sake of, because you're going to still lose no matter what. But in some cases you can't, right? So I understand that, but I do have more thoughts on this, but I want to get to the ladies. I want to get to the ladies. So, Lisa, what's up?
Hey, y'all. First of all y'all need a yoga class if you out here dating multiple people. It's not even dating multiple people. You're just 1 foot in a relationship, 1 foot out. You need to be in a relationship with yourself. That's what that sounds like.
Professor. That was for you.
Professor.
Hey,
Professor.
I'm not 1 foot in, 1 foot. Stop it. Half of y'all at 1 foot in, 1 foot out of relationships. I don't even want to hear that shit. So whatever. I just happen to voice it, and y'all be doing yoga and all the other stuff, and y'all still be on the cheating, mess with other dudes on Instagram, getting DMs. So I don't want to hear talking to you, going out for drinks with your coworker, going out to the club with your girls.
Husband?
With your
No.
that part.
Yeah,
So you already know. So I don't even want to hear. Don't be calling me out there like that.
I don't have a work husband, but I was just finishing his statement because I knew that's where the toxic conversation was going. That's where it was going. But just to quickly state before
but nah, I'm gonna stay where I'm at.
Real quick, before you finish that, Elisa, Skinny, I'm gonna plug her social into the description so that way you could drop her classes and everything.
Yeah.
As well.
Flood the DMs.
Yeah, that's fine. Flood the yoga DMs. But I definitely agree with the video, and I do agree with what Professor was saying, actually, because a lot of men treat situations like that. I'm agreeing that it happens. I'm not agreeing that it's right or wrong, but it definitely happens. And I feel like men are, even though they're supposed to be big and strong, a lot of them don't like confrontation. So they don't want to have to deal with the tears and the O's and the woes that come with some of the emotions that women have. So some of them will take the easy route. Like, okay, well, I'm gonna put a Band-Aid on this situation and I'll rip it off once I know that the situation over here is a whole new, no wound, no nothing. It's just a new arm, fresh arm, ready to go. So it definitely happens. I've had it happen. So I've seen you'll notice they spend less time with you. They're not as engaged. They really don't care. You'll ask them specific questions and they don't care. It could be up or down. They don't care if you're spending all the time out with your homegirls. You don't have to be home because really your presence isn't a present anymore. It's just, you're just there.
Stay woke, stay woke.
I'm with that. Ash, what's your thoughts on the topic? Have you ever noticed a man check out in a relationship? I feel like they don't check out on me. All right, look at
Wait,
what
I'm
saying.
Like, you see this face?
I
have a comment.
know that's right.
Kind of like what Alicia is saying. I totally agree that what Professor does happen. I don't think it should happen. I think it's really unhealthy to just bounce from relationship to relationship. I think some healing needs to take place and some self-reflection too, because like if it ends, like let's figure out why it ended and like let's try to heal from that and do better next time. Like hopping to someone else before you even close the door on one thing, it just sounds very unhealthy. Yeah, that was pretty much my 2 cents on it. I do believe that sometimes guys do check out of relationships. Oh, and I had a question too. To Wall Street Willie, you said something about how you've done the whole like checking out or asking for a break. Prior to that, like, do you like voice your concerns in the relationship, or you just like I'm done with it, I'm gone?
Most of the time, I feel like I've voiced my issues, my problems, and it's just like, all right, this isn't going to change. So at that point, then you just start to move different. I think that's fairly common in a lot of guys. Okay. And on the behalf
thank you.
Especially my man Skinny Boy, we would like to thank you for being cooperative and submissive and that faith. And especially for Skinny Boy, we would like to thank you the entire chat.
Oh, man.
And as just so you know, when I go on to somebody else, I've already checked out of that relationship months ago. So that's why I've already healed myself in that relationship while I'm still in the relationship. So now it's time to move on to a different one.
But then why not walk away? Like why go the whole process of finding someone new prior to? Like I don't understand.
So it really depends on the time of the year, and to be quite honest with you, I refuse to break up with anyone around their birthday, Christmas, or Thanksgiving. I don't like ruining holidays for people. So sometimes they make it through. Sometimes they'll make it through the holiday, and then turn of the year come, gotta go. But I've already had 2 or 3 Christmases on my own. And fortunately for me, I like to spend time with family. So and my family's not accepting of new people. So I need to go hang out with my family during Christmas time. So yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
I got some questions. I got some questions for you, Professor, on everything you're talking about.
I've been having some answers.
Let me get Kit. What's up, Kit? What's your thoughts?
Dun dun dun.
Your mic is on mute.
Actually, hold up. I actually have that, but if I can find it, go ahead. But go ahead.
That one works too. That's my best friend. That one works too.
Yo, that hurt me. Flashback.
You know what? It's okay. I'm used to being the redhead stepchild in all situations. So y'all treat me so horrible, but it's okay. I still love y'all, and that's what's important. But I felt a lot of what he said. I don't believe in a break. Like if you need a break, that means you're single. Because I'm super single. Like so, like if you say, "Oh, I need a break," no, we either work it out as a unit because that's what a unit is. Or, be good with your break, and I wish you nothing but the best and hope you find whatever it is that I lacked in the relationship. I do think women need to be more cognizant of when the signs are being shown. I also think that men need to be more forthcoming with said signs because, instead of doing all of this signing like we're deaf, we could just have a conversation because that kind of makes sense. And, to talk about things that just, I don't know, it just feels like it tracks, so, that's just my personal, like, if we got a beef, like, let's talk about the beef. And if we can't reconcile the beef, then I guess it ain't what's for dinner. And then we just go about our way. But it doesn't have to be all of this. I'm finding me a new boo and I'm doing all of this. Nigga, if you don't want to be here no more, like, there's other people that, kind of like me too. And we can just go about our way. So,
He's forever, Kid never. Go ahead and tag chilling.
All right. Yo, I just want to say that was kind of interesting to hear for men to be forthcoming. Does that work for women too? Because when y'all check out, hold on. Because when y'all check out of the relationships, y'all don't give a dude a warning, no nothing. You just
And I
you
agree,
just
but
do
here's
things.
I
I
disagree,
agree,
Chill.
but wait,
Oh,
here's the thing, Chill. We specifically said that we're gonna stay on topic, and this topic is about men leaving a relationship and not women. So I was speaking about what I feel like the men should be doing. So pardon me for just being a humble little girl with braids, just trying to stay on topic so that our wonderful audience will keep
okay.
up and
You know what?
feel the vibes. That's all.
I'll give that. I'm gonna let that slide. It's fair. It's fair. And that's the thing. Men are fair. We're just fair. Now, had this been the other way around, I'm just saying, and I'm gonna leave it right there.
But wait, y'all are fair. Please explain this fairness. I must have missed it.
No one said any. None of the men said anything fair. While giving their
I'm
opinions.
gonna tell you how.
I'm just checking. Maybe I missed. Maybe I missed it.
I got you, and I'm gonna explain it, and it's gonna go with this topic. See, men are extremely fair because we have this thing that's called the nostalgia effect. We could be checked out of the relationship, but because we've been with you for a certain amount of time, we still feel obligated to take care of you. That's just something that's in men. We just really do. Like, we can hate your guts, and you'll know from the signs. Like, we come home from work and we stay in the goddamn driveway for an extra 10 minutes before we get ourselves prepared to go up in there and deal with your ass.
Hey, yo, Chill, my life. You don't know, bro.
Just saying. But yet, because we still feel obligated to stay with you and support you and just be there for you. Like, men do that. And women understand this. That's why it's always y'all who get over on us before we can ever have an opportunity to get over on you.
But is it fair if you check out a situation and you're not letting me know that? Like, if I want to save us, then how do I? Like, you're not giving me a fighting chance. I don't think that's fair at all.
And I'll say, but see, here's the thing: men do give off signs. You want to know why women tend to not understand these signs? Is because they don't care. The reason why we checked out of the relationship is usually because you've already checked out of that relationship and you started doing things by way of contempt, resentment, and utter disrespect. That's when we checked out the relationship. It's very rarely and seldom that a man checks out before a woman. We usually check out by way of things that you are doing, like lack of emotional support, lack of that nookie, because you ain't give us that thing in about a few months. We like, damn, who getting them things? When I first met you, we was just sweatboxing it up. Never seen anything.
Now I come tap you on the shoulder, you ain't even rolling over.
Yeah, but see, and I get it. And look, ladies, I could be on both sides of this event. You know what I'm saying? I can support both of you guys because there is a part that where I do understand why y'all get like that. You know what I'm saying? It's a two-way street. I'm not bagging on not one person, but it is a two-way street. And y'all know what it is that we usually check out a relationship about. It's because you've already done that.
So here's the thing, right? I don't necessarily believe that to be true because to blame your here's the thing, because now we're pushing blame. Oh, well, you checked out, so that's what made me check out. Like, no, we're not going to do that. We're adults. So, but what I can say is that for y'all to be able to say everything else under the sun, why a sit down conversation like, look, babe, I'm feeling a particular way. I feel like things need to change because I'm unhappy and I'm, considering that maybe this isn't the relationship for me. Like, I don't know. Pardon me, but I just feel like that's just such an easier way than me having to fucking play Scooby and Shaggy trying to sniff out the clues to see if your ass is happy. You can easily just say, bitch, I ain't happy. And let's see if we can work it out. And if we're not gonna work it out, then we can go our separate ways. But this whole like, well, you just didn't pay attention. Maybe have you ever thought that maybe I missed it and that's fine, but if you address it to me, then that makes it so, okay, you know what? I need to be more cognizant. Maybe I have been doing too much at work. Maybe I've been taking one too many yoga classes with Lisa. Maybe I've been doing way too many things outside of paying attention to my man, and I need to be able to do that. But again, for men to want to be leaders in everything, I don't understand how y'all can't even lead a conversation about your unhappiness in your relationship. Like, why does this make sense?
I got this. I'm gonna hit it one more time, and then I'm gonna let y'all fellas.
Women's intuition.
Like, why does it make sense?
See, here's the thing.
And this shit don't make sense.
Right. See, here's the thing, fellas. Never listen to that. And Kit, that's my ace boom boom. She stole food off my plate and everything. But what I'm gonna tell you is, don't listen to that, because that is a woman that's trying to shame you into doing things that your reptilian brain allows you not to do. Hold on. My plane is up there, girl. I ain't shoot yours down. Back up. Put them guns away. All right. Listen, fellas. She wants you to share all of this about why you're not unhappy. But what she doesn't want to do is take accountability for it not making your home a home. She doesn't want to take accountability for it not being the woman that you need, nor being the woman that could prove to you that she is your best option. That's why women talk like that. See,
how do I know that I am not these things if you haven't taken the time to tell me? Because again, I'm not this super psychic reader that's just walking around saying, yeah he's unhappy. So hold on. So you're ending purpose. As a leader, I would figure that you would want to make sure that the relationship is going in the way that you would want it to, so you would lead it in a certain way, like, I don't know, effective communication, to make sure that the messages aren't getting crisscross applesauce. I don't understand.
I got something to say after you.
I didn't do enough. I didn't do my stuff today. I'm going to get me a lollipop. I'll be right back.
You can only lead someone that's willing to be led. All right. So if she's not willing to be led, I think where guys get lost in relationships a lot is women can complain about things all day, even when they're happy. Right? Guys never want to come across like we're nagging. So we'll wait. We'll say something when we're frustrated. We'll ignore it. We'll wait. We'll say something again. That third time, all right, I'm out. Like, she's been smiling at me anyway. How you doing? You know what I mean? And he's gone. You know what I mean?
And you're right. And you're right, Willie. Women act like we don't have these conversations. We have these conversations in multiple different ways. And I remember when I first came on, Chill sort of got on me for this. But I said I even went to counseling with a young lady, couples counseling, to try to make that relationship work, and it didn't work. So it's not like men are just checking out. A lot of men will just do everything they can in their power not to let that go, to try to get whatever needs to be fixed. But at some point, it's not being fixed, and that's when you check out and you keep it pushing. And then when you find that next thing, you keep going. So I've been down that path. I've been down that path with a couple young ladies, not necessarily counseling, but I did it with at least one. So you have those conversations. Men aren't just leaving just to leave. Men have these conversations with women, and I'm trying to figure out where's women's intuition at. Y'all should have that intuition to understand that we ain't happy.
It can go from one song to another real fast. Like it can go from "It's for the keeper, she's for the keeper" to "Whoa, sweet thing" real quick. Once you find it, go from one song
to me and Mrs. Jones.
Every week, someone in our community passes, and too often, the family is left scrambling. GoFundMes, fish fries, tears, plus bills. That doesn't have to be your story. Final expense life insurance gives your family peace, not paperwork. Your rate never increases, it never expires, and coverage can start for less than $1 a day. No medical exam, no stress, just protection that's there when they need it most. Call now. 980-206-4475. Protect the legacy. Preserve the name.
All right.
No worries. We're supposed to be Houdini. I get it.
Okay. Look, and Kit, look, I'm trying to rock with you right here, man, but I'm gonna give you another example. So, fellas, to all my fellas out there, I hope y'all remember everything that she just said. Why is it that we can't communicate, or why do they get, you know what I'm saying? They want us to say everything, but see, they don't expect us to ask, do you want me to put my life on the line? Or, you know what I'm saying? When you walking next to her on the street on the car side, they don't expect, like, we don't expect them to announce those things that we have to do it. They just expect us to know how to do it. Correct? Or am I right? When it comes to being a provider, upgrading their life,
putting down.
you know what I'm saying? They don't feel like they have to communicate any of these things. We just supposed to know how to do it, how to make that thing go, how to do all of that. They don't want to communicate nothing.
That's not though.
Yo, what's up, Ash? Hold on, let Ash get it. Let Ash get it.
All right. Thank you, Chill. That was so great. It leads me to this, right? So we're talking about marriages here. So I imagine what happens is there's a lack of, right? And if I'm lacking, all right, Maybe I'm paying. Maybe I'm only focused on this aspect of you or this one, and I slip in another aspect, right? Maybe I'm so focused on emptying your sack regularly that I haven't been packing your lunch or cooking for you or something, or making sure your laundry is done, right? I'm slacking in an area, right? Whatever is important to you, because everyone's needs aren't the same, right? Every man's needs is different, right? So if I'm slacking, why not let me know? Because as time goes on, life changes. What if I think it's normal that people are gonna slip in some ways, but I think the conversation needs to be had regularly, like, hey, and don't wait until you're mad to bring it up, right? Because now it seems like you're using that to be defensive or to justify you acting how you acting.
Okay. And I appreciate that response. But see, here's the thing. You want to know the two different, just like I gave y'all two types of men, you want to know the two types of women that just have a issue with this, or one have an issue and the other don't. The one who don't have an issue is the competitive woman. She don't have to be told about her game, nor does she have to worry about whether her man is happy or not, because she understands that she got a good dude and other women want him. So she is gonna make sure that she's gonna stay competitive. She's gonna try her best to stay the same weight that how he met her at. She's gonna make sure that that man don't want for nothing, especially if he's going out here being productive in the world. Now, the women who do have a problem with this is the non-competitive women. They feel like once they got you into a relationship, everything just stops. Well, I won the race. I don't need to be competitive no more. So that's why other things in the relationship that keep that man hungry and productive, she slack off of. And that's when he start to slack off. This is biology and this is power dynamics. I don't talk all about that foo-foo shit y'all like to talk about. I'm telling you how it really goes. And that's just that.
I hear you, Chill. But like for the sake of this conversation, this topic, can we agree that it's not really about the competitive woman? Because I don't think she's getting left like that. Right? We talking about the woman who's actually, it's about the second woman that you described, because that's the one that
the non-competitive
right?
one. Yeah.
All right. So I don't think it's good to focus on the competitive woman, because obviously she's doing what she needs to do.
Yeah, like, we don't even have to bring her up, but I wanted to give y'all a frame of reference, because see, most chicks today who aren't competitive, they want the same results that the women who are competitive gets, and it's just impossible. So if you want to keep your man, won't he do it? Won't he do it?
It's
quick.
100%
like,
right.
look, he dropping knowledge. Don't you come and mess this up.
Right. but you're right. You're right. Jill's right. Yeah.
I'm gonna get in so much trouble when me and my wife watch this.
No, you can't let her watch this with you, man.
Phil, I was already here, baby. You know I'm about thanking God. God didn't do that for you. I was in the backstage waiting at the door.
I know you were.
With my
put you back there. Hallelujah.
Lollipop.
Professor, what were you gonna say?
No, I mean, I'm just saying that Chill was right, and that women these days do have to be competitive, and a lot of it, if you're giving your man sex, and you at least give him some form of peace, then a lot of the other stuff he can let go. But when you come home from work and the house you've been home all day and the house is dirty, you've been home all day and he can't even get something to eat. Then he can't get nothing to eat, then he can't get no booty. It's a lot. So then he's gonna start looking at other places. So, you know, what Chill is saying is correct. So a lot of women stop being competitive once they get a man, and you got to understand that competition, that game is still going on from day one to the end of life. So you got to stay competitive to continue to keep your man.
Right. I agree. That competitive woman, man, it's a game changer. But unfortunately, I do believe that a lot of women, once you get the man, they stop competing. Hence why a lot of men will turn around and be unhappy. Like, yo, there's times I speak to a lot of men. I know men that literally, like Chill said, they'll pull up home and sit in the driveway for 3 hours and not go inside. These women know that the man has a problem, but they won't say, hey, how can I fix this? Sometimes the man will communicate all those issues to them. Yo, I'm tired of coming home and there's no food. Yo, I'm tired of coming home and you ain't clean this crib. I gotta pick up everything. Or yeah, you might go to work, I might go to work. So I might also feel as if I'm picking up that extra and you're not. So some men are tired of that as well. Women might not see the signs. Unfortunately, yeah, men might not leave. A lot of men do express their unhappiness from what I see, but they don't leave. So they'll just sit and be miserable for years sometimes. Literally years. Look at Kit like, yo, I am fooling with this lollipop.
Yep.
I do have another piece of this too. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm gonna use me as an example. So when I checked out of my relationship, it was because she had checked out. And the reason why she checked out, now see, this takes a lot of self-reflection. I was a straight dusty when she checked out. You know what I'm saying? I was extremely complacent. I wasn't competitive myself. I just thought just going to work and coming home and yo, I brought some money home. We our bills is paid. We can say maybe, you know what I'm saying, about 5% of that check. You know what I'm saying? I was so regular smegular. I wasn't forward thinking or anything. And see, when the women realize that that's the type of dude that she got, that's when, and she'll give her weird warnings. We don't ever understand these warnings, but they give us warnings. They'll start to complain a lot more. You know what I'm saying? Certain things they'll just stop falling back on doing. And then when she completely checks out, that's when the back door opens. And yeah, buddy, she out there searching. And when she's searching, I'm trying to tell you, fellas, they do the most egregious and disrespectful things. You know what I'm saying? All the way up until you find out.
And the legs open, that back door opens.
Yes, sir.
Oh,
yes,
Lord.
indeed. Because they're looking for a replacement. And that's just what it is. Now,
so let me. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was gonna say, and when this happened, fellas, that's when we start to check out because we notice that a lot of times we really feel we already know what the deal is. You can tell, especially if you really, really vibe with this woman or you loved her at some point. You know when stuff ain't right. You can feel it. But when you're not productive and you don't have a lot of options and you looking at her like this is the best I could do, you tend to take it because you don't want to rock the boat too much because you ain't got no leverage in this situation. That tends to happen to a lot of fellas. And I know all the dudes in here know exactly what I'm talking about because we've been in a situation like that where we done moved in with a chick. We ain't have our own spot. We might have been sharing a car. Have had a Kia Sophia or some shit like that, one of them cheap ass janks, and we take a turn going to work and with that. Come on, man, y'all, look, we done been there before. We done got our paper right, and we can get our own stuff and have our own place. We done shacked up with somebody else, and because we stayed in that situation for a very long time and nothing changed, that's when the contempt, the resentment, and the disrespect tends to come from her. Because once they open them legs for you, she expect her life to change, but because we failed to change it, we get punished.
I agree with that. Professor, I have some questions.
I may have some answers.
So,
the punchy Professor.
When
I got your back.
So I get it. I get it when we're younger, right? We make those, you know, we tend to do things like, we get under a woman to get over another, right? But as we're older now, why is that still an option for us as men, other than just saying like, yo, listen, let me just dip off? Because what I see, it doesn't give you time to work on yourself, and not to sound like you know, one of those womanish people, but let's just being real. Like, it takes away from you. You know what I'm saying? I'm all about how can I self-improve, and I believe sometimes when you deal with woman after woman after woman after woman, it stunts your growth as a man. So let's talk about that.
Wait,
so what's your question?
But wait, before you get into anything, because John was over here twitching and switching his lip like he kind of agrees with Professor's stance on how to get out of something than GMT's. And I'm just a person that looks at characters, and something is telling me that, yeah, chill, I'm giving you the little squinty eye. Something is telling me that in this particular stance, and I see that you're asking GMT, I see you're asking Professor about it, but I feel like chill is.
I'll get to chill in a little bit, Professor. So the question is, why not work on yourself if you know that you're done with a woman, other than trying to get under another one?
Yeah, so So initially, my wanting to get some additional calico was paramount. And I will say this: the older I get,
hold your thought. Hold your
okay,
thought. We got a $5 super chat from my guy Hank the Bishop. Shout out to you. My guy says, "Good afternoon, GMT and family. Salute to you, my guy. Much respect, much blessings. Thank you for being over here." All right.
yes, sir,
Then
yes, sir.
Oh, Enoch, you in the building? What up, man? I'm guessing you're hooking it up for Kiba. I'm gonna put you back down real quick.
No, so yeah. But with me though, it's I've actually, I've gotten to a point where I'm like, I'm just getting tired of sleeping with people from time to time because like, bro, I gotta keep putting this in, and then they get emotionally attached, and then I gotta go through the. But no, so I'm going through a midlife when it comes to that. But I'm kidding. But no, when it came to working on yourself, after my last relationship, I did go through therapy to make sure that what I was doing was correct. There were some things I needed to work on, and some stuff that I had going on since I was a child that I had to work on, and I didn't realize it, but I had females sort of say certain things about more so communication based, and that's what I went to work on was my communication when it came to having conversations with them when I felt a certain type of way. So I did do the work there. It took a few years, but I did do the work. But like Ludacris said, I love women so much I had one. So I grew up with nothing but women. So I enjoyed the presence of a woman. If I had to choose between hanging out with UGMT or Kid or Ash, I'm gonna choose Kid and Ash 10 times and 7 times on Sunday. Just because I just enjoy being around. If I had to go on a trip, it's gonna be Kid and Ash. Just because I'm so used to being around women. I enjoy being around women. So that's more so why I go on to something else, because I want to still have that companionship of women. It doesn't necessarily have to be sexual, just having that companionship of a woman. But that doesn't mean I haven't worked on myself. So I did do a little bit more work on myself. I'm still doing work on myself, which is why I haven't, why I'm not in a relationship now. Actually, I'm not dating myself like some people, but I am being more cognizant of what I am and what I do. And not to mention these young ladies were great young ladies. They're well-to-do, great in their profession. They just weren't the one I needed at that time.
Okay. I think me personally, like I said, I just encourage men. That was cool when we was younger. But as we get older, let's say you're in a relationship, it don't work. I'm saying this might not work for everybody, but my whole thing is to just end the relationship, know when it's over, and then when it's over, take that moment to build yourself up. Men, you have time. You know what I'm saying? So as we're getting older, though, we still have a lot of time left to even say if you even wanted to start a family when you hit 40. So take that time to really build yourself and not focus on, how much ass could you get, how much cheeks could you clap in a year, right? That's just my personal opinion.
And I ain't gonna lie to you, GMT. I did do that. I mean, I was worse when I was younger because I remember on my birthday, I slept with 3 women on the same day. One went to sleep, went to sleep with another one, one went to sleep, went to sleep with another. So I've done it, and I've had the 3. So I started late, so I just had to get it all out of my system. Now I'm sort of getting it out of my system.
Nasty.
I'm not nasty. I just like calico. So at the end of the day, I like this calico. I like that calico. I like calico. Matter of fact, I got a cat because I like calico so much.
That sounds really nasty.
I'm trying to say I gotta keep it. I gotta keep it around me.
Did you at least wear a condom, man? That says it all right there. Say less.
Every once in a while. I wear them now.
We're just gonna pretend that Professor glitched in the matrix for a second, but I still want to hear Joe because
what's up? What's the question for me?
What side of this are we on? Are we on GMT's take of we're not trying, we're leaving before new establishments, or do you have a couple of buildings, concrete places where if the one building falls, you can kind of start.
All right. So, like I said, man, there's 2 types of men. And these two types of men do things differently.
I'm
Now,
asking you about you.
I got you. So I don't personally, because I tried it. You know what I'm saying? I don't personally believe that you should leave one relationship and then go right into another one, because he's. You can go ahead.
He said, as a married man, I would hang out with the fellas, but if I was single, I would kick it with Kit and
3 months ago, man.
All right. So, like I was saying, I don't think it's a good idea for a man who getting out of a relationship, regardless of how long you checked out, to get right into another one. Because see, what tends to happen is you never learn the mistakes or why that relationship went to shit in the first place. You just jump it into another one as soon as you get any type of attention. You know how it is when you first meet a chick and y'all start kicking it. You be like, God damn, you treat me way better than that thing I was with. And all you was doing, you was just with her for like a day or two. And now you got all the endorphins flooded in your brain, and that excitement going down to that head instead of this head. And you're totally thinking based off how you feel. Then you tend to get into a relationship with a woman you don't even know. That is the worst thing, because I've done it. After my divorce. I got with this chick, man. That's how I ended up here. Got a job. I got a job transfer. I was like, yeah, this thing treated me good. I was only man. She gave that thing to me the first night. Oh,
that should have been your warning sign right there, Chill.
Yeah. I'm like, oh my God, you went and bought me lunch and brought it to my job.
Hey, no woman ever did that to me before.
So for lunch,
y'all need to understand how we operate.
Chipotle.
We literally throw ourselves into the pit of fire once we
welcome to my every Sunday.
Drizzle.
Welcome to you, Mama.
Women understand this. They've seen us do this before. They've seen it, and they can see us coming a mile away. You know, the ones that we tend to get with off the rip is usually one that, you know what I'm saying? She can't really get the guy that she really want, so she settle for you, and she can see you coming a mile away, and she gonna punish you because she know you ain't gonna do a damn thing to change your life. So that's why that relationship blow up in your face too. It's no joke. We done all done it. Right. Every single one of us. Leave them dating nights alone, because that's exactly where they find your ass.
I'm gonna be honest though.
Right.
Yo, I want to hear from Kibo on this topic, right? Pretty much what we're going over is salute to Wife's Old Podcast. Do me a favor, y'all go over there and subscribe. Also, check out her IG lives as well. Dope topics, y'all. So, okay, what up? Kiba,
yeah,
we're talking about right now about. Did you heard what we were talking about before you jumped on?
I didn't. No.
Okay, so we was delving into we pretty good. So we was delving into pretty much when you're in relationships, and how do you know when the man is fed up, when he is ready to get out of there, when he's ready to leave. So we started with that. We got into our professor being a nasty whore. And then
I heard that.
I'm definitely for the streets. I've been telling y'all.
So what's your thoughts on that topic as far as knowing when men are done?
When they're leaving? When they get ready to leave?
What are the signs that you notice? And and a good question for the ladies is, what's your process of prevention if you want to stay in a relationship?
So I can speak for me. I'm a emotionally stable person. So I think that emotionally healthy women can see when a man is pulling away. You know what I'm saying? And they view it as a sign of disinterest. And so, we most likely pull away too. I've been through that, and I'm like, okay, well, you can go. Because by then, I'm good with it. I'm only gonna knock at the door a couple times, and that's it. I'm not chasing
my point.
I have a question, Kiva. You walk away after you've addressed the concerns and afterwards, and
yeah. So I can say, because I've been married for a while. I've been with my husband for 32 years, and but we still have the ups and downs. And when I feel him pulling away, I know that there's a situation. So of course I'm going to address it. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to fight for my relationship. I'm in it, 100%. But when you have no more fight, when your cup runneth over, you step away. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm a safeguard myself.
This big black man